Welcome back to Timberborn and my Diorama challenge. So we're here on Diorama, which is the smallest map in the game, I think. There might be another one about this size, but this is definitely one of the more challenging ones because there's just so little space. So I've set a challenge for myself to try to build a very advanced Iron Teeth society in this tiny map with a very sort of small water flow and not a lot of space to work with. Last episode, we got over the hump where these beavers are not going to starve and they're not going to run completely out of wood. So those are two risks. You can definitely risk completely running out of water, dehydrating your beavers, completely running out of food, starving your beavers. And you can also chop down all the trees without the infrastructure to put them back. And those are all dead ends. But I think we've initially gotten past those dead ends. Now, those first two, where you run out of water and food, those can happen at any time. They're not happening right now, but they are something you have to keep an eye out for. That whole idea where you run completely out of wood, that one is actually pretty stable. Now that we've got a forester, we might not have enough wood sometimes, but we're not going to run completely out of wood. So there we go. By the way, Parker is asking folks in the chat, what games is everyone looking forward to playing this year? What is everyone playing now? So you can tell what I'm playing, which is, of course, Timberborn. But Timberborn is an older game. Actually, the game that I'm most excited to try out that's actually sitting installed on my machine now, and I just haven't gotten into the right mood to start it yet, is Company of Heroes 3. That just came out. I'm very excited for it, partly because I think they've changed the vibe of the game a little bit so that it lets you rely on pausing a little bit more than past iterations of the game, which makes me happy because, man, am I bad at at real-time RTSs. Okay, so let's kill that bush because I'm going to start building. So I should say in my practice round where I was playing on a much larger, much more well-appointed map, one of the solutions I found to having sort of a very flat river in front of my base without a lot of opportunities to sort of hold back the water was to build the river up vertically, was to sort of transform the river almost into an elevated aqueduct. And so I'm going to try to do that on this map, and I can get started right now. It'll be a long road because it takes a lot of logs to build the number of levees that are necessary. But I'm going to unlock levees with the magic of science, and I'm going to build a levee right there. So that levee isn't going to do anything at first, but it's going to be necessary for my long-term plans. So we're going to build that levee, just have that going in the background. And in fact, I think I'm going to reduce its priority so that everything else that I build gets first access to the resources. Now, we're going to need... The other thing I want to start doing is building up vertically, because you can see I've filled up my food stores. My farmer's actually just sitting there because there's nowhere for them to put the food that they grow. And so I need to sort of add some more storage because I've got these two breeding pods over here because that's how the Iron Teeth like to do it. And actually, let me add one more because I want to start increasing my population. But if I'm going to be increasing my population, I want to have more food stored up so I can deal with sort of the sudden changes involved in that. But I don't want to take a lot of floor space. And so another thing I'm going to need to do... Okay, yeah, so I've got this guy here, but I think... One thing I want to do, I need to get my planks going again. So I'm going to unpause this and this. And I need to get enough workers. Okay, now that we're past the drought, let's deprioritize this pump. So that tomorrow, let's speed up time, so that tomorrow we can get the planks going again. Because what I'd like to do is build my first stacked up storage. And also I'd like to build a staircase that sort of can connect up to this upper story a little bit better. So actually, let's kill one of these. This is not... Well, let's leave it there for now, actually. Because, well... Okay, let me just tell you what I was thinking of doing. So what I was thinking of doing was making a staircase that does this. So it goes here, and then it comes... Actually, one thing that might be cool... I can't really afford this yet. I can almost afford a two-story one. Actually, no, let's not do that. Let's say, here, okay, what are we going to do? There's so many. One thing I love about Timberborn is there's just always so many freaking possibilities. Anything you want to do, you can do it 1,000 different ways. But so it's easy to be indecisive about it, though. So what I want is simultaneously to build a staircase up to here. But I also would like to add some storage, which means something. Actually, let me flip this one around. So I want to do something kind of like this, where but I don't have a way to go. Nope, that's a bad plan. I wanted to have this staircase do double duty, giving access to a higher level storage. Let me just place that storage that I was thinking of doing. So I put a storage here. I want access to this. I also want a convenient staircase going up. And so, okay, here's what I'm going to do. Because I'm just trying to be as absolutely as efficient with stairs and things as I possibly can. Oh, wait. Then this is not going to work. And then, yeah, so I'm deciding whether I want to be super efficient with travel time or if I want to be super efficient with, you know what? I think this plan isn't going to work. Let's not do this plan. I was trying to do two complicated things at once and they didn't work. So let's just scrap what I was doing here. I can't even explain what I thought I was doing. Let's not do that. Instead, let's build a staircase right there. And then let's build storages. Oh, no. This is what we're going to do. We're going to build a staircase here. We're going to build a path here to give people access to this level. Then we're going to build two storages. One here on this side and one here on that side. And then we're going to build a staircase on top of this. And we're going to extend the path along here. There we go. Okay, so now we're going to have a really efficient way to get up here. We do want to kill one of these. Build a little path right there. So we're going to build that. And this does give us an elevated walkway right here, which means we can build more storage along this side. Like this. And then a platform here, which gives us access to second level carrot storage. So that was elaborate. But this is basically what I was looking for the whole time, with something like this. So this is carrot storage. Where's carrots? There's carrots. And then all these little smaller storages, not sure what these are. I just know, basically, what I'm doing is I knew I had to make a path here. I had to make some kind of path to get up to this higher entrance. And so I could have done that with like little walkways and stairs and things like that. But if I make them storages, then the space is being used more efficiently. So I could just make this an entirely carrot-focused tower. I'm trying to think, is there anything else I'm harvesting? Like, eventually I'm going to be harvesting these dandelions, for instance. I don't need a place to put them. But I'm not getting anywhere near them right now. So, yeah, you know what? This is just freaking carrot towers. So let me build a path that connects to all these storages. And then we're just going to make these carrot towers. So carrots, 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 and over here, more carrots. And that also needs a path. There we go. And then this pathway here can also be covered over with platforms. And then that space could be used even more efficiently. But I'm hoping that by the end of this entire area is just a hive. Just an absolute incomprehensible hive. That's my goal. One thing to bear in mind is if you're going to build complicated paths snaking around in different directions, you want to build them close to the district center. If I try to, because I'm planning on building this much taller and having just winding paths going around it in circles, maybe not circles because we got a farmhouse here, though maybe I can move the farmhouse. Going around it in circles. And so Oh yeah, I should build a new farmhouse. Anyway, and it's going to be incomprehensible, but they always, like, basically the beavers will not build anything that is a certain number of path steps away from the district. So you can wind a bunch of paths up here and still have the district get to it. But if you try to build something like that over here, at the far end of where the district can reach, you'll very quickly run out of path steps. Oh, so Parker says, back to that question about what people are playing this year. Parker says that their friends are really interested in Company of Heroes 3, but they're also really into Sons of the Forest. So I never played that deeply into the original Forest, partly because I just found it so intimidating. Not only is just the background gameplay intimidatingly, like, starvation-y, but on top of that, there's actually, like, this whole storyline about, like, you know, your lost kid and, like, strangers trying to murder you all the time. And it just seemed like a scary game. Like a game that I would find intimidating to play. And so I tried out some of the survival mechanics, but I never got any deeper into it just because, yeah, I just found it kind of, you know, yeah, I just found it really intimidating. So that's cool that you and your friends are actually are into a game like that, because I feel like that takes a certain amount of, I don't know, chutzpah to to want to play a game like that. So average Twitch users recommended actually that I should try out some more mods for Project Zomboid. So far I've only tried one mod. I've got a weird thing about mods. I don't know what it is, but I think it's partly just because I am a game developer myself. I prefer to look and see what other game developers are doing themselves, because that's what my game will be the most compared to. And so I kind of like that. I just have a little bit of a sense of, I don't know, just like worry that a mod will have had less time, you know, with QA. It'll have that it might sort of mess up my game in unpredictable ways. And that's not from experience. That's just a presumption that I'm making. It's like an emotional level presumption, which might not be fair. And so yeah, so I've got this. So I do have like a weird thing against mods, and I don't know. It's not like I don't think there's something wrong with them. I don't have anything against modders. I think they're doing something great for their community. I love that they exist. For some reason, I have trouble engaging with them myself. But I did use a mod in Project Zomboid when a character got stuck in geometry and I needed a cheat menu. There was a modded cheat menu that you could grab, and so I grabbed that. So I've definitely, it's not like I'm an absolute purist about it. I have definitely used mods in the past, and probably will again in the future. But yeah, I have seen people add some really interesting things. Watching other people's gameplay in Project Zombie, people add some of it is just new content, new cars, and new weapons. Some are like new game modes. There's one called Cryogenic Winter, which is basically like the summer is like winter and the winter is like Snowpiercer. And so you have to like absolutely just devote all of your gameplay to keeping yourself warm. And it's fascinating. I've watched YouTube videos of it. I don't think I can handle that kind of thing myself, but I have watched YouTubers do it, and it's pretty fascinating. Nowanmai says that Valheim is coming to consoles next month. You know what? That might actually be interesting. I've been thinking of trying out Valheim again. I tried it out briefly. What's this guy doing? He's injured. I have not built things for injured guys yet. Okay, it'll cost me 80 science, but I think it's probably worth it. So let's let this injured guy recover over here. Yeah, I've been thinking of trying it out again. I played it a little bit with Jawa to try to get the point, and I played a little bit with myself. It's a slow game to get into. It's kind of like Project Zomboid that way, and I needed a lot of support from my audience to get into Project Zomboid. Valheim seems like it's a similar kind of game. But if I have it on console, I could maybe, for instance, try playing it with my sister, who's a more consistent co-op partner for me. And I think that might actually be kind of fun to try it. So I might give Valheim another try now that it's coming to console. So thanks for pointing that out, Nowanmai. All right, so we have built carrot towers, and as you can see, they're already filling up all the little storages with carrots. So that's kind of fun. They're also starting to build my levee here. Another thing that I should think about. So my population is growing. You see, I've got 4 baby beavers now, and only 4 more spaces for them in the apartments, and so I should probably try to get ahead of those little beavers coming in. I'm worried about our water levels. It seems like our water levels are slowly creeping downwards, so it feels like maybe I should pause. Let's pause the berries. I think that the berry guy is, again, he's out of storage space. I'm not eager to give him more storage space right this second, because berries, they're only used for one thing right now. They're used for breeding. And I've got way more than I need for the breeding that I need to do. So let's turn this water back on. get the water flowing again. But yeah, okay, another beaver just grew up, I think. Yeah, a couple of them grew up and another one was born. So we've got more workers now. That's good. Where should those workers work? I mean, I guess I could put one of these guys back now that we've got another worker. Oh, and I think somebody just died of old age. So there we go. Okay, fine. That was a self-solving problem. But we are going to need more habitation space. And so that means we need to figure out what is our plan for stacking these apartment buildings higher. Let's have a look at... Okay, so we're also finishing up these levees. So we should also start thinking about the next round of levees. Let's demolish some bushes. So I realize I can't... these bushes, they do eventually fill in the gaps with new bushes, but it takes for freaking ever. It's not like having a forest where it just fills in the trees immediately. These things grow very slowly. So deciding to cut down a bunch of these is not a decision that I make lightly. But I think ultimately I've got enough, and I might as well destroy this one too. Ultimately I've got enough of these, even if I chop these ones down, that it's worth it for me to get this space to build more levees. So I'm going to build more levees along here. Eventually I'm going to need to swap out my pumps with new pumps so that I can elevate these pumps another level. So while they're working on that, let's figure out how we want to build our apartments vertically. So I'm not going to need, I mean, adding 2 basically adds capacity for 20 beavers, which is an insane number of beavers. Doubles my population, more than that. But I want to be able to plan for both of them. And so even though I'm only going to build one initially, in fact, let's just... I mean, I guess no harm in building it, but so there is harm in building extra buildings for the folktails, because they will fill them up immediately. These guys will keep breeding at the same rate based on the breeding pods, regardless of how much room you give them. So it doesn't actually hurt. I can deprioritize it, but it doesn't actually hurt to build more barracks than you need. So question number 1 is... Oh, good, a drought. Question number 1 is, how are we going to get up to this door? So I think... we're probably going to want... Let's see, can we unlock... Yes, we can unlock second level platform. So we're going to need to have a... No, wait, do we need to have a second level platform here, or do we just need to have stairs? Okay, so I think because we're going to have, like, access tightly wrapped around this thing, I think we actually want to have a platform here so we can build stairs next to it. So let's build that. And then... Okay, let's pause so the beavers are not just building things as I do them, because I could regret them immediately. So the problem is, like, whenever you do a turn in a staircase, you need to actually have two platforms. So I guess I could build just a simple set of stairs up to it. I mean, I could, like, the simplest thing I could do would probably be something like this. That's the simplest solution, right? And I don't think it wastes any space. I think it's fine. The question is, what will the next set of stairs look like on top of this set? And is there a better way I could utilize this thing? Like, I feel like I built this thing here. It's conveniently placed. There wasn't much else to put there. But I kind of want it to be a little bit more useful. And right now it's just sitting there. Like, I guess I could put a decoration on top of it, and that would, you know, all of the beavers coming out of this area would benefit from it. But I'm not super, convinced this is... I guess we'll just have to see. We'll have to see if I find a good use for that space. But what I'd like to do is then wrap this around over here, so that same staircase also gives us access to this building. And then if we do that, we could just as easily build a staircase down, giving us direct access here. And then if we do that, maybe this staircase is actually unnecessary. Ooh, maybe, yeah, maybe this staircase is actually unnecessary. So let's cancel this staircase. We are canceling the apocalypse. The staircase was going to be a geographic apocalypse. And then, okay, then we're going to, again, get into my obsession with storage. We're going to set it up so that we're actually building storage on top of this stuff. So we'll stick something right there. Does that make any sense? No. No, it doesn't. It doesn't make any freaking sense. We're doing it anyway. Okay, so, okay. How do we get to that storage? This is stupid, but how do we get to that storage? We get there on a path that looks like this. Like that. And then, you know what? Our original staircase, does it make sense now? No, it'll never make sense. Let's do this. Okay. Okay, this is so dumb. Put that there, because... And then let's actually grab, because they're stackable, let's actually do more plank storage around here. So we'll do plank storage there, and then we'll build the higher path here. Oh, weirdly, this kind of works. Okay, so let's build the actual pathways, one of which needs to go underneath here to get to that storage, one of which needs to go o'er top, like that, to get to the apartments. And now this actually kind of works. What are we even storing here? Like, I don't know. I don't know what this is for. More berries, I guess. That's dumb. I don't want berries. You know what we want? Well, you know what we need? We need potatoes, is what we need. We need to start our potato economy if we want these people to be happy. So, potatoes go there. We're going to put more planks here. And here. Not there. Here. We're going to... What is this even going to be? Maybe this is just a few more berries. A few more berries. And then... We said that guy was potatoes. Is that everything? Is that all of the storages? I think that might be all of the storages. Okay. So this was absolute silliness. But we're building it. So I kind of like the idea that we're going to end up with like a weird staircase going up this direction or something. I kind of like that. Like, we got something architecturally, we got something strange brewing here, which I kind of like. All right. So now the beavers are moving around furiously, and... Okay, so one thing I got to figure out now is how... I mean, I guess I can build this levee without letting beavers on top of it, because they can reach all of it just by walking to it. So before the berries start, like, making more berry bushes, I'm going to fill that spot with levee. And I'm going to deprioritize it so that we get the other stuff I just decided to build first. Then we did start talking about potatoes. We should build some potatoes, and we should build some potatoes in a place where we're retaining water. The problem with that... Where in the heck do you put potatoes on this map? Like, you can put them, you can cancel some carrots for the potatoes, and actually, it does feel like we have too many carrots here. Actually, you know what? That's what I'm going to declare. I'm declaring we have too many carrots. So, what I'm going to do is mark this area as being no longer for planting new carrots. They will still harvest the carrots they've got. But once they're done harvesting those carrots, I'm planting potatoes there. And then potatoes will go into the new potato storage. And then we'll worry about where our potato cooker goes. We've got 3 jobs currently undone. Oh. We don't have somebody manning that. That seems problematic right before a drought. What job do we cancel? We've actually got a fair amount of wood right now, so let's cancel this. There. Okay. Let's pump out water. Let's make sure that we're actually filling our coffers with water before the drought hits. Oh, no, never mind. We don't have... Oh, yeah, it's evening. We've lost it. We've lost our chance. Another thing I should be thinking about, by the way, is beaver well-being. And I have not given them any kind of entertainment facilities of any kind. And it's kind of tough in this game because... or just... like with this particular challenge, because floor space is at such a premium. And so that means I want to constantly build up. So that means that the first well-being place you often place, which is a campfire. A campfire takes up space and can't be stacked on, even for the iron teeth. And so that's just space that is just gone forever once you place it. So that's problematic. The rooftop terraces are a little bit better, except that if you want to keep building vertically, you can't put a terrace on something because you want to build another story on it. And so those two are both hard to devote space to. So I'm going to build one of these here because the beavers need it. And I'm going to build it in a place where, like, space is cheap out here in sort of the blasted wasteland. But, makes me nervous. Okay, so this is a 3-day drought. So it's not as bad as the 4-day drought we just went through. So I think it's not threatening us too much. We are starting to build a lot of these weird things that we just planned. We're keeping pace with planks. That's good. So actually, once we... You know what? Actually, I think I should decommission even more of these carrots. Because I just realized we're going to need to build a levee along here. And so the potatoes are... If I want to have that many rows of potatoes, we're going to need to grow the potatoes. Oh, we got an unconnected building. So they finished the apartment complex before they finished the path to the apartment complex. That's okay. We'll get there eventually. We don't actually need this complex yet. I am starting to get impatient with the process of getting new beavers, which, you know, I should regard such feelings cautiously. But I want more beavers, and I want them fast. So yeah, I think, you know, once we get, like, a potato cooking place up and running, I think we'll be in pretty good shape for feeding this number of beavers. But if we want to start feeding more beavers than this, I'm going to need more arable land. I'm going to figure out, like, for instance, how to turn this into farmland. I need to get out there. But to do that in a reliable way, I'm going to need to get my levees built up so we actually have the right elevation to get over there. So, I guess that just means I keep working on this. So the last thing I'm going to do is the mouth of the dam right here. I'm going to leave this as it is for a while. Again, looks like it's trickling. And it bothers me. It really bothers me that it's trickling like that. That feels wrong. I don't want it doing that. So what I'm going to probably do actually is build it outwards. Actually, let's kill that. Let's put another one. Let's replace it over here. And then let's decommission that tree right there. So I think what I'll probably do is build outwards. So it's actually so we got a flat mouth to this reservoir right there. Yeah, nothing has paths. Get your paths finished, beavers. Okay, so we've got... Okay, we're really close to getting a couple new beavers. They're just going to be little kids, though, initially. Okay, we're starting to clear out most of these carrots. I'm not in a hurry to plant the potatoes because I don't even have the infrastructure for cooking them yet. I should start... Now that we're getting closer on these paths, though, I should start figuring out what that is going to entail. So I'm thinking we can't keep this staircase going up forever. So I'm thinking we actually build our potato cooker right here. And then we build out our paths here. Let's interconnect this stuff. And let's build some storage where we can keep grilled potatoes. So what does this look like? Let's see. So I think that and that makes sense. So this is going to be grilled potatoes. This is going to be grilled. So if you're new to this game, basically to make your beavers happy, you need to give them better and better food and more of a variety of food. They start with berries, which just don't make them happy. They keep them alive, but they're not very satisfying. Then you need carrots, which require, you actually need to build a farmhouse, consciously plant and grow the carrots. So it's in one extra step. It's not just gathering, you're planting and gathering. Then the next food on the list is potatoes, which you have to plant, gather, grill, and then eat. And then the next one is wheat, which you have to plant, gather, mill, bake, and eat as bread. And so they just keep adding one more step. So each new food that you add to the beaver's diet gets more complex than the one before. So, yeah, so it was like when I just wanted to build, all I had to do for carrots was just build a place to keep them and build a farmhouse. And that was it. And I had all the carrots I needed. Oh, good. We got all the space we need now for potatoes. So let's build the levee that we're going to want right here. I guess while I'm at it, I should probably figure out where I want the end of this thing to go. Probably want to cut it down here. No, I need to have a spout that's wide enough. So I think I actually will need to bring the levee down this way. If I bring the levee down this way, that means I need to cut across right here. So let's cancel these trees. And then let's start growing some potatoes. So potatoes now go here. Okay, looks like the drought is over. Water is flowing again. We survived. No big deal. It's going to take a bigger drought than that to conquer this reservoir, but there will be bigger droughts than that. And also, the beavers. We're going to have more beavers, and the more beavers I have, the more pumps I need. The faster I'll go through this water. And what I've got so far is not going to be enough. Oh, this doesn't know what it's grilling. So let's grill potatoes. All right. So another thing that I could consider doing is if I had a staircase over here, I could probably grow trees down here. But I don't know how easy it is to actually get a staircase down that way. So let's... Because beavers will only build a certain distance from their paths, I think if I want a staircase here, I have to have a path that's pretty close. So it looks like that will work. We are running... Oh, whoops. We've got one storage that I haven't assigned yet. More grilled potatoes. Okay, so we got a potato grill. Like, we don't have any potatoes yet, though, so stop doing that job. That's not an important job. Oh, we do have 3 extra beavers, though, that we don't have any jobs for yet. So we can... I mean, I don't think we've got any space left for berries. We don't, really. So we don't need to assign another berry picker. We do have more... Okay, we do actually need some more lumberjacks. So let's... I'll place a couple of lumberjacks for now, but long term, we are going to have more jobs for these guys to do. So we'll put those lumberjacks there. And actually, let's add a builder as well. So between these 2 lumberjacks and that builder, I think we're covering our unemployed beavers. And now it looks like we've actually built up that entire area that we planned. It feels good to get your sort of like construction economy fully up and running. Because then you can just you just plan these elaborate things, and then, over time the beavers just build it. They make it work. Okay, so one thing I eventually want to do is move these farmhouses to some kind of elevated location that does not take up arable land. That's going to be a challenge because there aren't a lot of options for that. But like for instance, the top of this, not a crazy place to stick a farmhouse. The main problem is, do I want to build it taller first before I move the farmhouse onto it? Like, do I want to have another layer of storage on it first and then put the farmhouse on? I guess the question is, how many tiles will I need of staircase to get down? So the door will be here. I'll need one staircase in this. I'll need to go down, what? Down once? I only need to go down 3 times. So go down here, and go down here. Yeah, I could build a straight staircase down to ground level if I just put one right on top of this. So that is a viable option. However, I don't want these to be trees. I want these to be potatoes. So I'm just going to untree these. The trees will grow, we'll harvest them, and then they won't replace them. But I've got space to scoot over to the side, but only one step, which really isn't space at all. So really, yeah, actually, if I want to put this thing within reach of its fields, on top of this is actually a good place to do it. So let's demolish it. We've got enough food to last a little while. So let's pause it for a second. Let's build a new farmhouse on top of the storage. And then let's build staircases. So now, how are we going to effectively use all of this space on the ground while we're building this staircase? That's the question, right? What stuff is worth building in that space? So we could put a storage here. And maybe that's all that makes sense. Because the problem is I don't want to... Is there something else that you can stack things on top of that isn't just more storage? I don't really know if there is. I mean, storage is definitely valuable, but... Yeah, I think... So I could put one here, and then that would be kind of it. I could also make a little corridor of storage like that. And then there isn't really a good way to get up. Except, oh, no, there kind of is. Okay, hold on. So, these imply that I've got covered walkway leading to them. And let's just say this is still carrot towers. It's just... This whole thing is carrot towers. We're just going to have so many freaking carrots. We won't know what to do with them. And then we can build another storage here. We can always change what these storages do, by the way. It doesn't have to be what I initially assigned to it. So we'll have it be all carrots now. Eventually we can clean them out of carrots and have them be other things. But then I can build this like that, which gives us access to the second story. Actually, I don't want to do it on both sides. Let's do it on one side, which gives us access to the second story. Again, carrot towers. And then we build our next layer of stairs. So basically, if we build a path around here, then we could also put storage underneath the other staircase. Again, carrot towers. And the stairs go here and here. And the only wasteful spot is this. I'm not doing anything on top of that. Which feels bad. I don't like it. But maybe I could put a decoration on that. In fact, you know what? Let's just do that. Let's put a decoration on it. Let's unlock the cheapest decoration and just stick it right there. There we go. We're going to have some happier beavers just for that. All right, so we're operating with only 2 farmers now for a little while. And we got a couple of unemployed beavers. But ultimately, we're going to have a more efficient use of space. Oh, but wait, here's my problem. I completely forgot my original intention, which was to get it off the arable land and not be using the arable land. Cancel. Stop. Wait. No. The whole point of this was the fact that this is arable land. And I was being wasteful with arable land. Which means I want to maximize how much of this green territory I keep. That was not a good solution. That was not a good solution at all. So, what are we doing instead? We're not doing that. That entire thing was a bad idea. Instead, thing is, this thing has to reach all the farmland. So I don't want to flip it around. I could flip it around, then they'd have to go out the back. And, wait, actually, we could test that right now. Because that path is already built. Isn't it? No, it's not. It's not already built. Dang. Okay. I don't know if it can reach everything. So I'm gonna play it safe. I'm gonna put it back where it was. I'm gonna play this safe. And so I'm gonna waste 1. Instead of 6 tiles of arable land, I'm gonna waste 1. And that 1 is just gonna be the one that's directly in front of it. Oh, I don't quite have the science that it takes to build the most efficient route. So I'm gonna sit on this for a little bit. I do have extra beavers, so maybe I should actually enhance my science, my rate of science. Let's do that. Let's add a new science place right there. So we add a new science place. Let's again deprioritize the levy a little bit. Oh, it already did? I already did. Great. And let's also deprioritize this a little bit until we're ready to actually build it. So let's build our science. Let's get science a little faster. And then we're going to build just a really tall... There's no way to get access to it from the side. So we're going to just build a really tall platform here. And figure out... Okay, so that means we'll have a move over here, get on top of this. And then from being on top of this, where can we go? We need to still get down as fast as possible. We need to get down to the farmland with minimal fuss. So what is the good way to do that? Now, it could be the simplest way might be this. This route is too short. Because, again, if I make this route too tangled, the place isn't going to work. Because the farmer has to be able to get to the farmland. So maybe, actually, what if... Should this not be here? No, I can't not have that be there. If I'm okay with taking away this land... So, okay, so again, this took up 6 tiles. If all I'm doing is reducing it to 3 tiles, that's still kind of worthwhile. So now we've got enough science. We can unlock this. And then this. And then I don't know what I'm doing. This is so stupid. The giant waste of everyone's time and effort. There! That's so dumb. Okay, so, and actually... No, that's fine, yeah. That's so dumb. What a dumb way for that to work. So yeah, so we've basically gone from wasting 3 tiles to wasting 6 tiles to wasting 3 tiles. So, cool. Good for us. Carrots can go there. This doesn't make any sense. But I'm having fun. That's the point of video games. Having fun. So there we go. Eventually they will finish this entire path. This thing will start working again. In the meantime, these farmers are staying ahead of the food needs of the community. We've got tons and tons of carrots. So let's watch them finish building this. Look at this nonsense. Okay, so now that we're actually harvesting potatoes, we can kick this in. This guy can start cooking potatoes so that beavers can eat them. There we go. Okay. Farmer kicked in. We don't quite have enough beavers right now, but what's his reach? He can reach all of the farmland. Okay, good. So it still works, even though his path is somewhat circuitous. It still technically works. And, oh, my beavers are feeling good. Feeling happy. And we've used this land. Again, if I had planned this ahead, I think there probably was a better way for me to do that. I didn't find it, but it's fine. If only these beavers had, like, hydroponics or something so we could build, make farms in the shade. But unfortunately, that's not a thing. So, okay, it looks like our lumberjacks are staying fully on top of... Oh, hey. Let's kick this guy in. So let's give these lumberjacks down here a little bit of a break. Because they've already cut all this wood. And then let's have a lumberjack up here cut down these new maple trees that have grown since the last time we were up here. So that's going to give us a nice little dose of wood. Because we have been pouring... we're low on logs because we've been pouring logs into things like these levees. Not just the platforms we've been building, but also the levees. Oh. Well, beavers can't actually reach the corners of these levees. So at some point, we're going to have to switch it up so that they're running on top of the levees instead of trying to get up next to them. And I'm not sure exactly when we're going to make that transition. I guess, you know what, while this is paused and a beaver doesn't have to get to it, that might actually be good timing for setting up access to this. So yeah, okay, we're chopping down this tree. Oh, wait, but was it... I think it was this tree we actually wanted to chop down. Yeah, okay, so this right here, cutting this path. This is going to become a levee. And then this path also needs to go away so we can make it a staircase. And I'm getting... Oh, this tree is almost grown. So once it's grown, it'll get chopped down too. And then we can put a levee there as well. And I guess, yeah, let's just kill this. Eventually we need to have a lumberjack back in that vague area so we can chop these trees down. But for right now, there's no point having a workplace there. Not when it's going to be, ground zero for building a levee. So how are we doing on grilled potatoes? It looks like we are grilling them, but we're not grilling enough of them. So the beavers are eating them as fast as we're grilling them. So that's partly just because we just don't have a big supply of potatoes. So we're going to, once we chop down all of these trees over here, we'll expand our potato growth. We also probably could put potatoes over here too. I always try to put potatoes really close to the water. So if the water starts drying up, the potatoes are the last ones to lose water. Because they're more sensitive to water than carrots are. So yeah, it looks like, okay, let's stop growing carrots around here as well. Partly because this is going to become levee territory, and partly because I think it could become more potato territory. Oh, good. And we've got a spot to build a levee here. We'll stick that right there. And now we can actually put a path along the top of the levee. So now instead of losing these diagonal levee locations, the beavers, instead of having to try to come up to them from the city side and not being able to reach them, they'll be able to come along the top of the levee and get there. And once we've got this built, then we can start building our new pumps. We can build our new pumps up on top of the levee, and then replace these pumps and just take these pumps out entirely. We have more beavers now. It looks like we might actually need more pumps. Because right now, like, we are emptying out a fair number of these storage barrels right now. So actually, let's see, what's the priority on these? Okay, these are normal priority. Let's actually kick in. Actually, you know what? I've been streaming for 2 hours now. I feel like the next step is sort of finishing the levee and swapping out our water production. And that's a whole other episode. So I think actually this might be a good time for us to cut the episode and move on. So actually, but before we cut the episode, let's just bask in what we've accomplished. So this episode, we started building vertically. We sort of built this like kind of insane thing right here to get our farmhouse up above a tower of carrots. But one thing I like about the carrots is they're the same color as sort of the sort of mud brick sort of look that the Iron Teeth have. So the carrots actually they look kind of the same as the apartment complex, which is kind of fun. So yeah, so we're stacking stairs on top of stairs. We're building really, really high. And so now our next goal is to finish up elevating the water level because, yeah, this drought that just started, it's another 4-day drought. These are only going to get worse. Eventually, we're going to get up to like 7-9 day droughts. And once we do that, this reservoir is not going to be enough. And so it's a little urgent for us to try to get this thing a little bit higher and swap out our water production so that it is actually pumping faster and harder without running out during a drought. So that is our goal for the next session. But for right now, it's time to quit. So there is a subscribe button for YouTube people. Here are links to other videos, so go check those out. And then, yeah, the episode where I try to focus on swapping out my entire water system, that goes here.